We just returned from our priest convocation. We went and gathered all the priests in the Diocese of Biloxi, gathered in Chatwa from Monday through to Thursday. And the team that led us through the convocation was the Encounter Ministries. And they led us in assessing all of what we as priests have been given as gifts and resources from the Lord, and how we can use those to bring people closer to God, the gift of our priesthood. And as they helped us to do that assessment, they also led us to recognize what authority, what power God has given to us. The power to heal, the power to deliver people from the things that they are struggling with in life, the power to proclaim the good news of salvation and bring people to embrace God's goodness. All of those are things that enabled us to recognize we've been given. And the conclusion they came to is the conclusion I want to share with you. Of all the things that were said, there was one that stuck with me. And it's a summary of the whole story of life. It says, life is short. Death is certain. Eternity is long. Think about those. So with the shortness of life, how much investment are you making in the things that are of this world that are short? With the certainty of death, how much preparation are you making for that? With the length of eternity, what will you sacrifice in order to inherit that? What will you give up in order to inherit that? And if you doubt the validity of the statement, just check out about a month or two ago when the news of the diagnosis of our former rector, Father Dennis, came in. He had gone through some health challenges whilst he was here, including a major heart situation and surgery. He survived that. And then comes a cancer. Less than a month after the diagnosis of the cancer, he's called home by God. He's not with us. We came back from our convocation on Thursday. Later that evening, one of our priests in the diocese, another priest called him, 6 p.m. Everything seemed to be fine. Later on, another person called him after 7. Everything seemed to be fine. And after their conversation, he had hinted the other person who had called him that he was going to bed. He went to sleep. Friday morning, his parishioners were gathered ready for Mass. Just this Friday, 2 days ago, there was no sign of Father. After Mass, no. As they waited, some were asked to go and check up on him. They went to knock at his door, there was no response. And then they got the authority to go in. He was gone to be with his Maker. Father Fenton Kilmary at Lumberton. Thursday night, talking to colleague brothers, priests. And the assessment upon examination was that he had a massive heart attack later that night and was called home. Life is short. Death is certain. Eternity is long. Jesus draws a conclusion. He says, "What I say to you is this: make friends for yourselves through your use of this world's goods, so that when they fail you, a lasting reception will be yours." Amen.